All right, hello, 390 Wagon Master here. This is a patented Wagon Master unboxing. I have the addresses taped off accordingly to protect the innocents. This came from Lamar up in Palouse, Washington. Yeah, you gotta love those Washington names. Try to spell Puyallup. Anyway, um, while I was covering that up, I kind of been deep diving some Ace Frehley and Eddie Van Halen videos. So this is my uh, EVH inspired unboxing. So there you go. I know. It's blasphemy wasting all of that blue tape. So anyway, so Lamar contacted me back a while ago, wanted to know if I wanted one of these. He was donating it for parts, I think, something to that effect. It doesn't have lids and stuff. Anyway, so I know what this is, and I appreciate it. Come on. You gotta love my backdrop here. Yes, I'm in the laundry room. I guess I can't hide it. I could probably put a yellow towel out there and charge $900 for it, but anyway. All right, so thank you, Lamar. I'm always into parts radios. Oh, yeah. Wow, any weed in there? No, damn it, from Washington, too. That would have been some high grade. All right, I've never seen bubble wrap like that. Oh, dude. Ranger chassis. There's no weed in there either. All right. Anyway, well, a guy can hope. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We have a road map. Okay, so these are for various mods. Super modulator. Oh, does this have a kit in it? Oh, dude. Look at that. Okay, that's crazy. Well, it came with an old school Radio Shack power plug, so I appreciate that. That's from an old realistic TRC 449 vintage. Oh, dude, a 55V with a bottom lid. Dude, that bottom lid looks cherry. All right, so sorry if that was off camera. Does the meter work? Yes, it moves. Sweet. Dude, that thing's nice. He said this thing was a beater, or led me to think that anyway. So, yeah. These are screaming radios. So 6-band radios, like what, 40 below 1 and 120 above 40. Got the badass Galaxy Roger beep, 10kc switch so you can get all your A channels. Noise blanker and noise blanker plus, which I think is just actually A and L noise blanker together on these, and then AM, FM, and PA. So I've been on the hunt looking for a radio to just monitor the 805. But anyway, that's cool, dude. That thing's nice. I would show you the insides, but I can't. Dude, that thing is nice. Lamar, you led me to believe this was a complete POS, and this is just on the surface, not that. So I want to thank you very much. It fires up, all modes and functions work. It puts out a maximum of, I think it was 6 watts, according to the Royce. I'm not on a dummy load, so it may or may not be very accurate, but let's see here. We're on channel 23. Yeah. Oh, turn a little. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Something else I noticed too. Here's channel 1. Okay, so 4 watts on 1. We'll go to 40. And almost 8 watts. So anyway, okay, well that's cool. Yeah, I mean, a little alignment. She should be okay. These things are ripping, man. If you're ever looking for just a screaming rig, with decent, it has a decent front end. These are nice. So AM, FM, right? And then I was mistaken, and that's kind of the reason why I decided to do this follow-up video, but Noise Blanker Plus turns off the counter. Now, for some reason, I was thinking some of these did like a noise blanker A&L combo that they called the Plus. Probably wrong on that. But now that I think about it, because some of these counters made noise, it was actually quieter this way. Who remembers the old Galaxy Palutos? Oh, anyway. So yeah, the killer Roger Beep. Let me grab my old trusty Jerry here. Where are we on? We're on 40. We'll go to 19. Who cares? I'm on an antenna. Actually, we'll go to 23. We'll see if we stir anything up. So there we go. Turn the mic down. Let's see. Let's make sure this Roger Beep is acceptable. What's going on? Is that my microphone doing that? Oh, wow, that's weird. Look at my, Oh, stop keying up. Biscuits. All right, well, let's throw a stocky stock mic on there. Just so happens I happen to have one right here. I don't know. I mean, once in a while that turner will get goofy. Oh, there we go. Take her back to the shop. All right, let's see here. What do we got? Turn the Roger Beep back on. Yeah, it's acceptable. Totally acceptable. Okay. So where was I? Anyway, so it needs an alignment. The receiver seems to sound pretty good. Like my static level doesn't vary all that much that I remember. A little hotter on 40, just slightly. But you know that changes with your band conditions in your local area at times. Anyway, mic gain works, RF gain works. RF power works. It'll go down to 0. And the cool thing about something like this is this has I believe a 1969 final. Let me look here. Look how clean that thing is. Dude, that Lamar, that thing is clean. Man, I was not expecting anything like this, dude. Yeah, it's got a 1969 in it with a 2166 final. So, yeah, this will be an AM beast. But what I was going to say is, and there's really, I mean, no visible mods. But what I was going to say was, on the MOSFET versions of some of these radios, when you turn the RF power down to like 2 watts or so, they get really crusty and gruffy sounding. Gross. Sounds like a lot lizard at the Flying J. How you doing, doll? Anyway, so with the 1969 in here, I don't think we're going to have that issue. But yeah, that is pretty cool. The 10kc switch works. The Clarifier or Delta Tune will go to 0s. In fact, it'll go up. Oh, it's warming up now. A little while ago, it went up 7 kcs. And then it will go down to 0s counterclockwise. So it's very versatile. Between this and the 10kc switch and all that, that's pretty versatile. Anyway, guys, these things are bodacious AM radios. FM, sort of. They seem to transmit okay on FM. The reception's a little wonky, in my opinion, but, you know, whatever. These do vary quite a bit. But, yeah, it's pretty nice. Damn, Lamar. Thank you, sir. Anyway, again, I'm an AMer at heart, and these are, in my opinion, one of the better AM radios. Actually, probably one of the best if you want balls to the walls transmit audio. Oh man, these things are wicked. Receive wise, I would say like Cobra 25-ish. You know, like an old Cobra 25 LTD. That would be about equal. I think the 29s were just a hair quieter. This is not like Cobra 29 material yet. But anyway, still a really nice rig. But what can you expect with all that, you know, that band spread? Okay, now it's a couple days later. And I had this on the bench running, lids off, of course. Alignment went great, nice and smooth. PLL section was way out of whack in this. Everything else was pretty dang close. I'm not sure if somebody was golden screwdrivering in here or not. Power section needed to be realigned as well. It would reverse modulate pretty much no matter what wattage it was. But this thing started out really high. I want to say about 8 plus watts, and was reverse modulating down to like 5, 6, something like that. But anyway, what happened was over a period of a couple days, the channel selector, I started losing segments from about 17 to 25 right in here. And it got to where you couldn't really tell that that was 23 at all. There was just a couple random segments there still lit up. So I have a replacement selector, but I opted to not do that. I opted to go for the fix. So now the fix was kind of interesting, and you want to have a steady hand at that. Generally, I use a Dremel. I didn't, kind of went a little overkill on this. I used like a 5/64 drill bit with a piece of tape on the tip of it. Generally, I'll pretty much just cover that whole drill bit, and I'll leave just enough on drill bit exposed to start a hole. And then by the time you actually bite through, it will scrunch down just a hair, because the idea is to get between the wafers here, but you don't want to actually get into it in case you're off. Like, see, I was off right here a hair. Actually, you know, with the Dremel, you can do a straight job, a nice and tidy job, actually. But anyway, you know, this one's good. This one's good. This one's good, but just canned it off to the side a little bit. This one's a little forward. This one's a little to the rear. And I've never opened this last one. I've never done these. I've always been afraid to do this because of this rear mechanism back here. So I didn't need to. But anyway, yeah, just get in there, and that tape will stop you from going through and damaging everything. And so I used to do this way back in the days, like the old Cobra 146 days, because I look at it this way: you've got nothing to lose, you can always try it. And I was showed this by a fellow, and it's always, I've had like a 90+% success rate with that. We were using, I think, Blue Shower back in the day, but what I used on this was some deox. And after you drill the holes, you can just get a little vacuum and you know, put the nozzle right there and suck it out while you're turning the dial, if you so wish. I don't always do that. And then you just get in there, and what I do is I just get on there like that, so I can get a little force in there, and I'll just give it a squirt. Each one, you don't need to worry about overfilling it or anything. It's deox, it's all right. And then just work it in that area that you need to work, and then go, you know, around several times. Anyway, needless to say, we are back up and running. So what I'm going to do is clean this off and put a little tape on there. That's optional, by the way. You don't really need to do that. Sometimes if you get too much deox in there, this doesn't really, it takes a long time to dry out. And I guess you could get some rubbing alcohol, put on a towel and do that. But anyway, there's that. I know that looks wrong, but anyway, that it works really well, and it beats swapping it out for another one. Now, if this goes TU again, then yeah, we'd swap it out. Okay, let's see, what else? One last thing before I put the lids on, because I was ready to put the lids on here till this started acting up, and it got worse. It went from just like a couple segments over here on the 2 to all the way over here. So these are sealed, but they just get that way. It's weird. And this radio does not look like it's had very much use on it. It's very clean. So I was going to make some notes here. Let me see if I can find them real quick. Receiver alignment was good. There was hardly anything going on with that. That was in really good shape. Squelch was correct and everything. Everything was great on that. The PLL alignment, we had some issues with that. In the PLL offset oscillator section, L20 was way out of whack. And then of course you got to hit, and then we had to recalibrate the frequency counter as well. That's pretty easy. That's just on the bottom side of this. But yeah, everything's looking good now. I found one last thing that we've got to address because I was going through the solder joints here, just giving it one last look. Everything's good. We got the dreaded trucker syndrome here. So we'll fire up the pen and get that taken care of. All these look good. And what I've seen in the past, especially in a trucker's rig, sometimes the installer or the trucker, whoever, won't put the little rubber grommets in between the bracket and this bushing here when they install them. And what happens is sometimes the rigs will shift around and move around, so the guy will just sit and just crank down on that. And when you crank down on that, you get this, right? Dog hair. You get this generally over here. So we'd see this on a lot of like Cobra 25s and 29s. We would see that the audio IC and whatnot would actually pull away like that. But I'm extremely happy with that. This is a great running radio. It's just a sweetheart. I found a top lid, not in the best of condition, but let's put the lids back on and clean her up. Okay, well, this puppy is completed. I put a top lid on. This is from, I believe, a Galaxy 44. It's got a little bit of fading here, but I hit it with some Magnolia. Washed it down first, hit it with some Magnolia, and it turned out okay. Actually, the bottom lid's in pretty decent shape, so anyway. So, yeah, the bottom cover was good, speaker was good, all that's good. I'm extremely happy with how this radio turned out. It's a little screamer. I did not do any audio mods or anything like that. No shunt transistors, no weird resistor swap outs or anything. You know, really, when you turn this down to like, 3 or 4 watts, the audio, perks right up. You don't need to do any max mods or anything like that. Nothing. I did, however, do capacitor swap out in the power supply. There was nothing wrong with this. This is a little 1000 microfarad, and I don't know, a lot of people like to do that. They put in those big ones, so I got a big 2200 Nichicon in there, but it's not necessary. But I got a whole truckload of them. Got to start using them. People make livings doing that, but anyway. And then last thing I did was I don't like the Roger beep in here. I like the tone of the Roger beep. This has got that killer EPT 3600 export Roger beep sound. The tone is perfect, but the time was off. This is a 2.2 microfarad. I believe it's like C134 or something like that. And what I did is I put a 4.7 in it to extend the time. So over here we get this. Hello radio, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. It's got good audio on a stock mic. It's a hair long, just a hair, but it's super effective. This radio sounds good on FM. Hello, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So there's that. And let's hook it up to some meters here and check that out. By the way, I like this one's a quiet one. I like this one. Okay, so I have a pretty bad static level tonight, so I'm going to turn the noisemaker off. but not bad. Roger Beat Plus, of course, just turns off the counter. And I'm sorry, Noise Blanker Plus, Roger Beep on off, 10 KCs, no sweat. She's on frequency. The counter is matched to the radio, give or take, like, I think it's 100 cycles, 150 cycles, something like that, because it'll drift around a little bit. Squelch isn't jumpy. It's not noisy. Yeah, I like it. You can, do the RF gain, adjust those, have a little signal to noise adjustment. So much better than any modern AM rig. In fact, I'll put one on here and do a video. I'll do like a modern AM radio that you buy nowadays compared to something like this. Anyway, it's so nice and quiet and selective. Very selective. And that noise you hear is my external speaker plug. It's getting skewampus. But anyway. So we'll go down to 25.615 and all the way up to 3.5. It'll go 5, 6, almost 7 up. If it's really warm, it'll almost go 7 KCs up. There's 5 down. We still got a little more to go. 6 KCs down. 6 and 6, let's say. Off center slot. All right. Let's throw on a meter. I'm on the dummy load. Channel 40. This scale right here on the Drake, right there. And each notch here is 2 watts. I'm in PEP feel good mode there, and we're on RMS here. This meter is really touchy in that respect, so she just doesn't give forward swinging RMS watts. This is to everybody. All right, flat key on high power. 4 watts. Hello, audio. Just audio. Limiter's not kicking in. Let's see what we're doing in feel good watts. This is about 22, 23 watts. Hello, radio, audio, standard talk power, 1, 2, 3. Hello, radio, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she's a little modulator, huh? Yeah, you betcha. Got the meter set right here, so they somewhat jive up. All right, I am going to try to do this with one hand. One thing with this radio was that there was about a 1.5 watt difference between channel 40, channel 1. So we're going to go, I'm on 40 right now, so I'm going to key the mo and turn the channel selector. There we're on 40, there we're on 1. Hello, radio. Same difference. Let's go up a bit. I've never actually gone to the max here. Let's see what it is up here. 3/0 and a 5. That's a cool screenshot. About 3 3/4. Hello. A little bit of peak. That's not bad though. I'm happy with that. Let's go all the way to the basement, because the thing was aligned on channel what was it? Channel 1 D band. So 26965 is where you align these. And we got poop for power down here on 615, which is pretty much acceptable. Let's see here. Let's go to, there we go, 055. Yeah, this radio doesn't like the lowers. You can't have it all. There we go. There's 40. Yeah, there's a ways below 1. Hello. Yeah, you gotta love that. No test tones here, boys. I'm just kidding. It wasn't tuned that way. All right. Well, anyway, there you go. So it's doing really well. Let's go up to where it was aligned. Got some good swing. And let's see, what else did I want to show you? Oh yeah, low power. So the book calls for 8 watts on high, 1 watt on low. So we got 4 watts on high, and turn the RF power down, and 1 watt on low. Some healthy swing. So now you can run a little. Now you can run a little amp off this. A couple 455s, 454s on low power, and you'd be a swinging machine, no doubt about it. All right, well, cool. This was fun. I want to thank you, Lamar. I appreciate that, buddy. We're going to be doing something with this radio here, but anyway, there you go. The Galaxy DX55V. I love these little things. It's been a while since I've really got to play around with one. Darren's, I was talking to Darren a couple nights ago. He has the same thing. I turned his into a splatter box, and that thing sounds great. And when you get two of these things talking to each other, you know they're awesome. And it's that legendary Galaxy Audio. You do not need a power mic for this. Just a nice sounding stock mic will be just fine. So anyway, all right, leave questions or comments down below. Thanks for watching. Cheers.